joining me today. My name is Katie Owashi. I am the STEM Center Coordinator at Moreno Valley College. I'm really excited to talk to you today about how you can set yourself up for STEM success in your STEM classes this spring term. So let's be honest, STEM classes are hard. I feel like they've been notoriously hard probably since the beginning of time. But the truth of it is that STEM classes tend to be longer than many other classes. They have more required components. They often have lecture and lab parts included. Many of you probably already know this as you're spending much more time in the classroom than some of your other classmates potentially. So we know how hard STEM classes are, and we want you to know that we are here to help. So let's talk a little bit about studying. The thing about studying is there really is no one size fits all type of situation. Studying is different for every single person, and you really have to take some time to explore your style and find what's going to work best for you. What works for me, what works for your classmates might not necessarily work for you. Here are some things that I'm suggesting that you can do to help make studying more of a habit or easier for you that you might want to explore moving forward. So one idea is to actually schedule it. So whether you're using an e-calendar app or a physical planner, you can block out some time on your schedule to actually say, okay, this is the time I'm dedicating to studying. Whether it be 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever you need to do, you know that you have set aside this time for studying, so you don't have to worry about doing anything else. You can focus on studying and completing your homework and worry about other things once that time is over. Another idea is to try a new location. I don't know about you, but I have a really hard time studying in my room. When I see my bed, I really just want to go lay down in it. So it's easier for me to try and find a new location to study. So you might consider studying at the library at MVC, which is open right now for in-person time. We also have the Learning Center, which is great. It has some study pods available for you, or maybe even a coffee shop if you need some of that background noise going on. The whole idea as well is that you might see other classmates or people getting work done or studying, and that could encourage you to do it as well. Another suggestion is to try to make it a habit. Habits can be really hard to form, but an idea that I've heard when doing my research is in order to try making it a habit, you have to actually do that thing as often as possible. So one suggestion I might have is if you have class that goes till 11 and you don't have another class that starts until 2, you could potentially say, okay, from 11 to 12, I'm going to try studying, but it's kind of hard to just jump into it and do it for an hour. So what you could try doing is actually, okay, go to the library, set all of your stuff up to study, stay there for 5 minutes and pack up and leave. It sounds kind of funny, but if you continually do that after every 11 o'clock class, your brain will start to tell you, okay, after class is over, we go to the library and we study. So you can eventually start extending that amount of time. You can, or even if you show up and you say, I'm only going to be there for 5 minutes, maybe you start getting something done and you decide to stay a little longer. It's just the one I'm suggesting you might consider trying. Another thing you can think of is making plans with a friend or classmate. It's really easy to press snooze on our calendar invitations, but it's not so easy to stand up a friend or a classmate if you make a plan to study with them. So actually setting a time where you're going to meet up at the library, learning center, coffee shop, wherever you might want to meet up to do some studying or get some homework done, it is much harder to blow them off. So that could really encourage you to show up and stay accountable. So the next two, setting a timer and Pomodoro technique, are pretty similar. It's something that you can sit down, say, okay, I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. I'm going to focus for this next 10 minutes. And then I know that the time is going to end, so I don't have to stress about that. The Pomodoro technique is really useful because it is actually setting aside a certain amount of time to work and a certain amount of time to take a break. So the Pomodoro technique suggests 25 minutes of working, 5 minutes of break time. You can also extend that to even longer, 50 minutes of working, 10 minutes of break time. So the encouragement behind this is actually spending a set amount of time focusing on something, knowing that you have a break that's coming. Research has shown that taking breaks can be really useful in helping cement things in your mind and be more motivating. So it's something you can consider. There's an app called Focus if you're interested in checking that out, or tomato-timer.com, which is you can access on your browser and set a timer and it'll go off for you. There are some other apps you might consider to help you focus and spend time studying or off your phone. Forest and self-control. These are like that new focus feature on your iPhone where it will not allow you to access certain applications while you're working. You can set a timer. Forest is kind of fun. It's like a game where you plant a seed and a tree begins to grow as you focus and get your project done. If you pick up your phone and start playing on it, the tree starts to die. So these are just some different ideas of things you can explore. I always suggest spend a couple of weeks trying a technique to see if it works for you and then reevaluate. Is this working for me? Do I feel like I'm getting more studying done? Do I feel like the information is settling in for me? And if it's not, it's time to reevaluate and find something that will work for you. Okay, time management, like studying, is again not a one size fits all type of situation. You really, again, have to evaluate what works best for you. You have to look at all of your different commitments and see what do I have to plan out for my week, my month, my term? What do I have to do to make sure I'm getting my assignments done on time? I'm having adequate amount of time to study. So make sure you're evaluating your commitments and deciding how you're going to approach each week before moving forward. So there are some different time management styles you can consider thinking of. One is going to be physical. So if you find yourself to be a big note taker in class, you like to write things down, or even you like to doodle, you might consider getting a physical planner to plan out your time. You can purchase these at the bookstore, Amazon, pretty much anywhere. It's just a booklet that has dates and times on it where you can write down your assignments, you can plan out your day. Or maybe you find yourself to be more electronic. If you rely on your e-calendars or any other apps, maybe you will consider doing a electronic time management style. So one would be to utilize your e-calendars like your Google Calendar or your Apple Calendar or any other calendar you have. You can actually schedule your class times as recurring events throughout the term. So that's blocked out during that time. And you can schedule your work time when that comes in, or connect your work schedule with any other app that you have going on for scheduling your work. So you can actually physically look at your day and see, when am I committed and when do I have time to plan other things out. There are also some really great apps out there that will help you manage your time. There are apps like Anydo, Todoist, and ClickUp. So these ones you can actually look at your calendar and set tasks side by side. So you can kind of see, what tasks do I have to complete? What commitments do I have today? Where can I slot in my time and make sure I'm using my time efficiently? So these are just some great ideas on how to manage your time and styles that you can utilize. You could also use a mixture of them. Maybe you find it works best if you write down your assignments in a physical planner, but you manage your time in an e-calendar. Find what works for you, explore it, and always reevaluate. Is this working for me, or do I need to find something else? So here's some time management ideas for the first week of classes. It is the first week of spring term here at Moreno Valley College. So you might consider doing these to make sure you can set yourself up for success for the term. So my first suggestion would be to plan out your term. You can use a preferred planning tool to map out your entire semester, whether that be your physical planner, whether that be an app you're using, your e-calendar. What I would suggest, like I mentioned before, is write down your class times, block them out on your e-calendar so you see when they're not available. If you have a work schedule, put that into your e-calendar, write it down in your planner so you know what you have going on. And then as you're receiving your syllabi from your different classes, you can use your physical planner or a planning app to type in your assignments and their due dates. So you have an idea, when am I going to have my busiest weeks? When is my big midterm going to be? When is my final going to be? When am I going to have to really buckle down and focus? It'll give you an idea of when your busiest weeks are, so you can, like if you have an ability to set your schedule at work, but you know you're going to have a very busy week of school, you can understand that and know that you have to make sure you schedule time to study or complete assignments during that week. Or you can just know when you're going to have busy weeks. You can communicate to your family members or your loved ones when you'll be really busy and when you will need a little help in life, maybe. Another suggestion is to set reminders. I don't know about you, but if I do not have my phone reminding me what time I have something to do, I will forget. We have so much going on in our lives right now. So utilize your reminders, whether it be apps on your phone, your calendars, to stay on track and make sure that you are managing your time wisely and completing your assignments and studying when you need to. Okay, this combines a little bit of time management and self care together, expecting the unexpected. We all know that life happens. We have all been there at 1 in the morning when we're working on an assignment and our computer completely crashes and we freak out and we don't know what we're going to do. It's so easy to get overwhelmed when you try so hard to plan everything out and it doesn't go to plan. So, first, when this happens, make sure to take a breath. Try to do some deep breathing or take a moment to try to center yourself so you can stop the swirling in your mind because that's a fight or flight response that's going in your brain to the unexpected, to the being overwhelmed. I'm sorry. Then I would suggest making a list. Write down all those things that are swirling around in your brain. Do you have an assignment you need to complete? Were you supposed to submit a response on the discussion board? Or do you need to study for a big test that's tomorrow? Did you need to contact your boss at work and let them know what's going on? Make a list of everything that's swirling around. Then in that moment, you can prioritize. What are some tasks I can get done right now and cross off the list? What are some tasks that need to be completed by soon as as soon as possible or have a certain deadline? You can prioritize and you can actually look at everything you have written down. Sometimes our brain triggers that fight or flight response just because we're overwhelmed, and really we just need to take a moment to organize ourselves. Next, when we're overwhelmed, when there's unexpected things going on, it's always good to communicate. Talk to your loved ones, your family members, your partners. Let them know that, I'm freaking out a little bit. I have a lot going on, and I'm just trying to figure out how to manage all of it. So they can be aware of what's going on in your life and help you if possible, or at least understand what you're going through. Also, take some time to communicate with your professors. If your computer crashes at 1 in the morning and you suddenly realize you might not be able to complete that assignment, send your professor an email, let them know what's going on, um, give them an idea of when you expect things to be fixed, when you can expect to turn in the assignment. It's much better to communicate and let them know what's going on so you can see how things can be handled or if they have any suggestions for you, than to just not turn something in or turn something in late. You'll be surprised at how compassionate your professors are. They really care about you and want you to succeed. So finally, use your resources. There's so many resources available at MBC here to help you succeed. And if find yourself stuck in a certain situation, you might consider utilizing one of them, and they might end up helping you out more than you expect. So talking about our resources, we have lots of different great things here at MBC. They're all free to use, so we recommend you take advantage of them. And I'm going to dive in and talk a little bit about each. So tutoring, we do have lots of free tutoring available for you. Our typical STEM subjects are biology, chemistry, computer science, math, physics, and anatomy and physiology. We don't have the courses set quite yet as they're still looking and finalizing tutors for the spring term, but these are the STEM subjects we tend to have tutoring available in. Now, um, there are other subjects available for tutoring, but we're just focusing on STEM for now. So they are open in person for tutoring if you are on campus and find yourself in need of services. In person, they're available Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that's going to be in this Humanities building, room 219. They have the big Learning Center suite available there. And then our virtual service hours. So if you find yourself at home and still in need of a tutor, you're not able to make it to campus, they are open Monday through Thursday, and then Friday are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and actually open virtually on Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you need some help, you need to talk to somebody, you can go log on virtually. And here is the website here to access that information. We also have our math and computer lab. So what's great about these places is not only do they provide some really great space to do some studying and utilize computers, but there are actually peer tutors and faculty available in these spaces to help you as well. So in the math lab, there are actual math faculty available to help students with any questions they might have, whether that be about an assignment or problem you're struggling with or other questions you might have. It doesn't have to be the professor from your class. All of our mathematics professors are really proficient in all areas of math, so they can at least try to help you with any issue you might be facing. So there are also, like I mentioned, testing and work tables available for you to utilize, our computers with all the software loaded up that you might need for some of your classes. We also have things like scratch paper, hole punches, stuff like that, and paper print. So if you need to print an assignment, I think it's 10 cents a page and you can utilize that. So we also have our library, which is open for in-person help right now, in case you didn't know. The great thing about the library is we do have librarians available who are experts in different spaces of research and database usage. So if you need help researching something or want to know how you can research effectively, you can get assistance with that from them, and they'll help walk you through the process. You can also access materials like checking out books and whatnot. We also have some textbooks available for checkout if you do need to utilize a textbook. And then say you're writing a research paper and you're trying to figure out, how do I know what a reliable source is? How do I access a research paper? Or maybe you've done some research and you found a journal article you would really like to read, but there's a paywall and you can't access it. You can actually talk with a librarian and they can help you access different materials. If you have that journal article you can't access, they might be able to access it through the institution or borrow it from another institution. So go check out the library and you can see if they can help you with any issues or questions you might have. And finally, we have Canvas. I'm not sure if you've explored your Canvas too much, but if you look on your left side dashboard, down at the bottom, there's a little student resources area. And if you go to the student resources area, then click on Moreno Valley College, you can see lots of different resources we have available here. So student services have a page for admissions and records and financial aid. Academic services, we have our tutoring and learning center information there. Campus services like accessing the police or any technology help you might have. And our engagement centers, which I'm really excited to talk to you about our STEM center. So if you go on Canvas, you can navigate through the student resources page, or you can just go to bit.ly/MVC STEM Canvas, that's all lowercase, to access our STEM page. This is open to any student, not just STEM students. You are able to join the course, so that would just add it to your dashboard. There wouldn't be any requirements, no assignments or anything like that, but you would receive announcements about events and resources that we have available for you. So I'm actually going to just take a moment and show you our MVC STEM page. So this is what it looks like here from the student perspective. If you log on, there's access to see the success team and our information. So that includes the STEM counselor information, our educational advisor, our faculty liaison, and my own information, as well as some information about how to see a counselor. Then we have our STEM Center events page. So this is a Google Calendar that you can access to see all the STEM events we have going on. So this includes our current events with links to register and information about them. Any useful events that I have found out in the world that I feel like you might be interested in, like this is a pre-med CC event. So events put on for students who are pre-health or pre-medical, who are specifically community college students, and their login information. And also events around campus. So like we have events listed here from the iMake Innovation Center, from the Transfer Center, anything that we find might be useful, as well as their login or registration information. Information is here about how to make an appointment with a STEM counselor. We also have some internship and research and STEM scholarship databases if you're interested in perusing those. Our contact information and contact information for faculty. If you're having trouble getting a hold of your faculty member or you want to talk to another faculty member about something, we do have our department chair information here, and then you can follow this outside link to look at more STEM faculty information. And finally, we have a really great STEM resources page available for you. So here we put together lots of different resources for you, including free online resources to help you with your STEM classes. This is separated by discipline, excuse me, and these are all free resources you can utilize throughout the web to help you succeed in your classes. Information about our STEM pathways and degrees, nursing and health sciences resources for all our health professional students out there, and free online textbook resources. A little further down, we have some STEM career and internship exploration resources if you're trying to figure out what career might be good for me and you want to look at some STEM resources there, and some self-care resources as well. So there are lots of great things on our STEM Canvas page. Please feel free to join our stream so you can get access to all these and access it easily, as well as get our announcements. All right, just going to come back to the presentation here. So that's all I have for you. I know I covered a ton of information. If you have any questions, you want to learn more about the study skill or time management information I shared, or have issues accessing Canvas, please send me an email. I'm more than happy to help. We want to help you succeed. We want to hear from you on how we can help you succeed. So thank you for listening, and I can't wait to see you on campus. Go Lions.